one day somebody does something unspeakable to someone else, to someone you hardly knew, and you do something about it because you can.
This story comes to us from WFAA News 8. According to an internal Dallas Police Department memo obtained by WFAA, Dallas officers are now prohibited from making arrests or issuing citations for marijuana possession for 4 ounces or less, nor can they consider the odor of marijuana as probable cause for search and seizure, except as part of a violent felony or high priority narcotics felony investigation. Watch, they're all going to be that now. The previous policy regarding possession of marijuana prompted officers to confiscate but not cite nor arrest people who had less than 2 ounces of marijuana. Per the memo sent out Friday, that policy is now obsolete. Proposition R, also dubbed the Dallas Freedom Act by supporters, passed with 66% of the vote in the November election. Now, last year, former Dallas Police Chief Eddie Garcia warned that the proposition could have a negative impact on public safety. He said, "In my 32 years in law enforcement, in my opinion, it could lead to increased illegal sales and deterioration of quality of life in certain areas of our city." He told the city council that in August of 2023. But, quote, "regardless of your thoughts and or opinions regarding the passing of this amendment, we must remain focused on our duties and obligations to the Dallas Police Department and the residents of the city of Dallas." That's what Dallas Interim Police Chief Michael Ego wrote in a memo. He went on, "It is crucial to maintain professionalism and composure as you always represent this exceptional police department." Well, I question exceptional. But is marijuana legal in Dallas now? No. Proposition R does not make marijuana legal in Dallas. By Texas law, possession of 2 ounces or less of marijuana is a Class B misdemeanor, punishable by up to 180 days imprisonment and a fine of up to $2,000. Possession of between 2 and 4 ounces of marijuana is a Class A misdemeanor, punishable by up to a year in jail and a fine of up to $4,000. Now, Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton sued 5 cities in 2023, including Denton, over ordinances to deprioritize misdemeanor marijuana enforcement. In the past, 97% of misdemeanor marijuana cases in Dallas County were for less than 2 ounces of weed. Mary J. And that's according to a Dallas County District Attorney, John Creuzot. Now, Garcia previously warned Dallas City Council that implementation of Proposition R could kneecap the department's ability to charge drug dealers because he said 4 ounces represents the equivalent of 38 average marijuana transactions in Dallas. While Texas is among the states that haven't legalized marijuana for broad use, but the state has a medical marijuana program called the Texas Compassionate Use Act, which was passed in 2015. Through the program, DPS operates an online registry of physicians who can prescribe low THC to patients with specific medical conditions. The 2018 Farm Bill defined hemp as cannabis and derivatives of cannabis with no more than 0.3% THC on a dry weight basis and separated hemp from the definition of marijuana in the Controlled Substances Act, according to the FDA. Then in 2019, Texas legalized the production, manufacture, sale, and inspection of industrial hemp crops and products, including those for consumable hemp products which contain CBD, as well as other edible parts of the hemp plant. That's according to the Texas Department of Agriculture. They have a couple CBD shops here in my town, here locally in Southern California. CBD is pretty popular here. Of course, now so is marijuana because it's legal. But in Texas, it's not. The thing that gets me, though, is how And I don't know, I'm not always right, but I'm kind of going to put this out there in my humble opinion. But it's kind of interesting how the Dallas police chief, Eddie Garcia, and all these law enforcement are saying, well, if you legalize this marijuana, or if you take away the misdemeanors for marijuana possession, you're allowing all these drug dealers to get out here and do drug sales, and and they're kind of lumping these people who sell and manufacture marijuana. They're kind of lumping them in with like meth dealers and OxyContin dealers and all these other, oxys and heroin and cocaine and crack. And you get what I'm saying? Because in my humble opinion, I have knowledge of people who just strictly simply use marijuana, and they don't come across to me as druggies or drug users. They come across as people who smoke marijuana. There's always been pros and cons of marijuana, but if you look at somebody that's hooked on oxys, or somebody that's hooked on crack, or somebody that's hooked on methamphetamines, they don't really appear to be the same as those who just simply smoke a little doob. I guess what I'm saying is marijuana users, I don't really, in my humble opinion, believe we can lump them in with drug dealers or drug addicts. They're just people who smoke marijuana. I don't know. Am I right on that? Let me know.